everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the DST, or Diamond Select Toys, Invincible, Dupli-Kate, and Allen the Alien. These are from the Amazon exclusive animated show Invincible. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's really cool. This is the third wave of figures, so let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, we have a little warning, Diamond Select Toys, Dupli-Kate, Deluxe action figure, Amazon original, Invincible. Here she is from the cartoon, and then here she is in the package. Looks like we have a bunch of alternate hands, some severed limbs, alternate heads, and more. One side, here she is. Other side says this is the fifth figure in the Invincible line. On the back side, you've got the two of them. The bottom, here's her barcode, in case it helps anybody. And then, of course, Allen the Alien. Ton of accessories, parasite-looking things. Here he is on the side. Figure number 6 on the back. Here's the entire wave. And, of course, here's his barcode. So, without further ado, let's open them up. Alright, now that we get these figures out of the package, here they are with all of their accessories laid out, and they both come with a ton of cool stuff. This is the third series of Invincible figures by Diamond Select Toys, Dupli-Kate and Allen the Alien. Dupli-Kate was part of the team that Invincible ended up joining, Superheroes. And then Allen the Alien, he's sort of a universal, I don't know, policeman or guard of planets. He was checking out Earth to make sure they were still safe and so was able to protect them. But of course, he went to the wrong planet. In this video, we're going to take a look at each of the figures individually. We'll check out their accessories, height, and articulation, and then we'll compare them with a bunch of action figures from different various companies. So, let's start off with Dupli-Kate. So this is Dupli-Kate. Her ability is she can multiply herself. I've seen 3, 4, 5 different Dupli-Kate girls running around. She comes with 8 alternate hands, totaling 10 interchangeable hands, 2 heads, a clear display stand, some severed limbs, and a bunch of bloody pieces. But before we take a look at her accessories, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So Dupli-Kate, similar to the Multiple Man from X-Force. So let's take a look at her. Start with her face here. Looks pretty good. It's a very good job of translating the animated show into action figure form. It looks kind of soft, kind of animated, and it really captures the way she looks. She's got this 1 on her chest. I assume that means this is the original Dupli-Kate. The other ones probably have a 2, 3, 4, etc. on them, which doesn't really make any sense, but kind of cool the way it is. Shoulders have some giant ball joints, very noticeable. Very thin arms. It looks like we have single jointed elbows as well as single jointed knees here. Beyond that, basic looking figure, but definitely captures all the detail and essence of Dupli-Kate from the TV show. And just a closer look at her face and head sculpt. And speaking of her number on her chest, when looking at the accessory list, it said she came with a sheet of number decals, which is quite unfortunate as I don't have the packaging anymore. I already threw it away. So it looks like I threw away some accessories relevant to her, which really does suck. She's got the number 1 on here, and it can peel off pretty easily. Looks like you could replace it with a 2 or 3 or whatever else she came with. Maybe in the long run I'll get another Dupli-Kate girl just to have the numbers again. One can be number 1, one can be number 2. I don't know. Undecided yet. That does really suck. And here's the figure broken down as far as you can go, with all of her removable parts detached. Now let's check out her accessories. And let's start off with a display stand. Now let's check out her display stand. It's a flight stand. It comes with 2 separate pieces. When put together, they're going to look like this. We have the transparent circle for the base. It does have a peg for the pegals on her feet, and then it's this post that sticks in. The bottom, it can rotate. It is hinged. Hinged in the middle. Hinged near the top. And that part can actually come out. And then at the very top, it's hinged yet again, and has a little peg there to go into the hole in her back. Now let's take a look at her hands. She has a total of 10 of them, 5 right hands and 5 left hands. Here she is with her first pair of hands. These are her fists. And here's her next pair of hands. This is a pair of gripping hands. And then her third pair of hands. This looks to be a pair of grabbing hands. And here's her fourth pair of hands. This also looks to be a pair of grabbing hands with a larger grip. And here's our final pair of hands. These are some completely flat hands, almost like some karate chopping hands. Now let's look at her heads. She has two of them, one with a normal expression and one looking a little more angry. Here's her first head. This one has a more normal, regular expression. Then, with her second head, this one has a more angry, pissed off, or annoyed expression. Now let's look at her severed limbs. I remember the part where she went as a team to go save Invincible. They were all getting beaten so bad. Someone ripped the limbs off one of her duplicates and it caused the original to go unconscious. So we have a leg here, zero articulation, but a big bloody stump at the top there. And then we have her arm here. It's sort of ripped apart before the elbow. And then you can see where it's going to be ripped apart around where her shoulder is. Pretty gruesome accessories. I like it. And then she has all these different blood splattering effects. This piece here has a little peg. You would think it would plug into where her hand is, but that doesn't seem to work. It has another sort of place here. So you can take the two with the pegs, and you can actually attach them to each other to have a longer blood effect. To what end, I do not know. Then you got these here. They've got a little ball at the bottom and a slot for another ball joint. Both of them do, so I mean you can sort of connect them together. But once again, why? I don't know. I can't really seem to see where this connects onto the figure. Because if you take your figure here, took her hand out, you would think, hey, this piece here, it's going to fit right into the wrist hole, but it's like it's just too big. That's definitely not what to do with it, but nothing else really makes any sense. No other parts come apart. I mean, look at this. You got a ball joint in her head. Maybe something like this, but it just doesn't work. I don't know. There's no way these blood splatter pieces are simply just supposed to be on the floor next to her. They have all these slots that just doesn't seem to add up to me. I was able to take off her leg at the thigh cut pretty easily, and I can shove the bloody piece into there. There's no way it's supposed to be like this. There's another sort of ball at the bottom there, and this peg is definitely not designed to go on that thing. I just, for the life of me, cannot figure out what to use those things. We've got these pieces here with an obvious sort of joint socket here, and then another joint at the bottom. And yes, I can sort of put them together, but why? Why would I want to do that? Then you have these smaller pieces here, and they have what it looks to be something that will fit right into her wrists, but it's just much bigger than the pegs in her hand. I don't know. I can't figure out how to put any of these things on. What do I do with them? Anyone out there figure it out? Let me know, please. So this is what I was able to figure out so far. Her shoulders came out pretty easily, and those things definitely plug into the shoulder joints there. So keep messing around, see if I can figure out where the other pieces go. And it looks like I figured that part out. It looks like the smaller pieces will attach to her shoulders, and the bottom pieces to her legs. Hate to say it, seems kind of obvious now, as you can have the severed limb just sort of sitting next to her. The clues were all there right in front of me, and I hate to say it, that was pretty confusing. Some instructions would have been nice, and I'm still shitty that I threw away that decal sticker. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at her accessories, now let's check out her height. From bottom to the top of her head, she's standing out about 6.3 inches tall, which can translate to about 16 centimeters. And now for articulation. Start with her head. Of course, you can rotate from side to side. She can look up and down a little bit. Can tilt her head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint goes out a little bit less than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. Bicep cut below that. Single jointed elbow. Her wrists can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. Ball joint her torso, rotate around, forward and back. Legs, complete as a splits. Ball joints. Go forward, about that far. Back, not much. Thigh cut. Single jointed knee. And then our ankle here, forward and back. Tilt, rock. And here's Allen the Alien. He comes with a display stand. 10 alternate hands, totaling 12 interchangeable hands. A bowl of alien food, a planetary scanner, and then 3 sequids. But before we take a look at those, let's talk about and check out this actual figure. So this is Allen the Alien. I believe he's voiced by Seth Rogen. In the show, he first came to Earth because he was going to test and see if there was anyone strong enough to defend them. and he used a scanner, but it turned out he was on the wrong planet the entire time. And then at the end of the show, he came back, met with Invincible, and was warning him about Omni-Man and the Veltrumites. I believe there's a big plan for them to take over Earth again. He was in the little teaser for Season 2, and I imagine they're going to bring him back. So let's take a look. Start with his face here. He's a very tall, large alien. He's sort of a cyclops, one eye, bald head, orange skin, very muscular. He's got a belt, little pouches on it, single-jointed elbow, single-jointed knee. You see these weird three-fingered hands, these weird two-toed feet. He looks good, basic, but very large and bulky. And just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. He's an ugly little bugger. And then, here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with the display stand. Here's his display stand. It comes in two separate pieces. When put together, it's going to look like this. It's got the circular base, one peg for the pedals on his feet, and then it's got this post here. You can rotate at the bottom, and that's it. It's got one peg to attach to his back. Now let's check out his hands. He has a total of 12 of them, 6 right hands and 6 left hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. Then, with his pointing hands, each one of these hands has his index finger pointing at something. And here's his third pair of hands. Kind of some open hands. You can see his 2 little fingers just chilling there. Here's his next pair of hands. These are some regular hands, default hands. They would look good relaxed at his sides. And here's his 5th pair of hands. This is a pair of gripping hands. And then his final pair of hands, another pair of gripping hands with a larger grip. Now let's check out his heads. He has 2 of them, one with his lone eyebrow cocked up. Here's Alan with his first head. This one has the more normal expression, at least as normal as you can get with a face like that. And here's his second head. This one has the eyebrow cocked up, sort of a curious expression. Now let's look at this little computer thing here. He pulled this computer out when he was fighting Invincible. He explained he's at the right place, Uroth. Apparently, he was actually at Earth, mixed it up with Uroth. Mildly amusing. Here's Alan, holding that scanner. Now we have this little bowl of alien food. It's a bowl with a bunch of green stuff in it. Kind of looks like some peas. Here's Alan, holding that bowl and grabbing some food. Now for his sequids. He comes with 3 of them. They're kind of like parasites. In the show, on Mars, the Martians were immune to them, but we're keeping anyone who could potentially be contaminated away from home, executing them. These things here would attach to your face or your head, and then mind control you. When they would have a good host, they would be a force to be reckoned with, all working in unison. It's like they got a little sort of brain thing at the top. It's a large parasite. And then you have one that should be able to attach to an action figure's head. Here's Invincible himself, with one of those sequids on his face. Although, in the show, he's immune to them, because he's so strong. And now let's check out his height, and he's considerably bigger than Dupli-Kate. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 7.4 inches tall, which can translate to just under 19 centimeters. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head here. Of course, you can rotate from side to side, up and down about that far, not bad. Can tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders, the ball joint goes out less than 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. Bicep cut below that. Single jointed elbow, about a 90-degree bend. His wrists can rotate, and it's going to be hinged. And his torso's got a ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Legs, they definitely don't do the splits. They only go out about this far. Ball joints, forward, about that much. Back, not much at all. Thigh cut below that. Single jointed knee. Then his ankle here, forward and back. Tilt and rock. Here's a look at Dupli-Kate and Allen the Alien with the rest of the Invincible series behind them. Can't wait to get Monster Girl next. Now let's check them out. Next is some other action figures. Starting off with some other Diamond Select Invincible figures. Here they are, next to the first wave of Invincible figures, Omni-Man and Invincible. Then, with the second wave, Robot, and Adam Eve. And here is Diamond Select's entire Invincible collection so far. The next one they're going to be making is going to be the deluxe Monster Girl, both in her girl form and the larger monster form. Should be coming out pretty soon. And as far as I know, that's going to be it for the line. And there are a ton more characters I'd love them to make. Finish off the rest of the team. I would love to see the original Guardians, especially that sort of Batman character. Now let's check them out. Next is some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how they fit in both scale and style-wise, in case you know which lines you can mix them with. Since they're DST or Diamond Select toys, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check them out with some of their DST or Diamond Select toys brothers and sisters. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from Diamond Select, all 7-inch scale. Then, next to even some more Diamond Select toys. And now, next to some Jakks Pacific wrestling figures. And here they are, next to some McFarlane toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here they are, standing with some NECA figures. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, with some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here they are, next to some Mezco 112 collected figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here they are, next to some Mayfix figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here they are, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, here they are, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, there's some cool action figures from a pretty cool TV show. It took me a long time to get on board with Invincible. Some people told me about it. I just never really bothered to give it a chance. And when I did, I loved it. Now, as far as these figures go, their accessories are really cool. I like the severed limbs that Dupli-Kate comes from. It took me forever to figure out what to do with them. Definitely disappointed that apparently I threw away her sticker decals. But honestly, I wasn't going to use them anyway. They're very good if you're going to army build with her. Get 2, 3, or 4 of them. Put different numbers on them. But I plan to just have the one. And I would probably never actually switch out the decal there. So it's not that big a deal, but still annoying nonetheless. And then Allen the Alien. I really like the little parasites it comes with. Those are really cool. I'd say as a whole, Allen the Alien is probably a better action figure. Sturdier, bigger, looks better. Dupli-Kate, she's kind of loose, thin joints, etc. But even though he's a better figure, I'm actually enjoying her more. She's a character I wanted much more than Allen the Alien. I had no attachment to him from Season 1. He was barely in it. I really want to complete the team. There's only a couple more figures I need to do to make that happen. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.